I think COP, and basically there was a firefight, and there was a family walking down that road, and the Marines opened up in the whole area, and basically shot this 12-year-old, she was a 12-year-old Iraqi girl in the stomach. Her mother was shot in the leg, and her father and her brother, they weren't shot, but they were hysterical. And things like this happen every day. And you know, the longer we stay there, the more innocent people that are being killed, the more resistance that we're creating. You know, put themselves in your shoes. You know, well, put yourself in their shoes. Basically, if somebody in your family was shot trying, going home, or going to school, going about your business from an occupying force, you're not going to tell me you're going to pick up a weapon and resist the people that are occupying your country, And, just to wrap it up, basically is, it's important for our movement to support GI resistance, because fundamentally as a strategy, GI resistance is fundamentally what's going to end these occupations. And it's a movement of people that will end these criminal occupations.
Over there. Well, I just like to say that we need to know that the Democrats aren't going to be saving us here. They talk about 60, a majority in the Senate. That's a lie. It takes 40 to filibuster. They could have done that from the beginning. I like Obama, but he says he can't do it alone, and he's not lying. These people have got to be held accountable. Senator Cantwell told me and several other activists 3 years ago that they had the control of the purse strings, and if Bush did not start getting the troops out of there, and if it did not start to be making some improvement over there, they would cut the funding, and they have failed to do that. They have failed to do that, and they need to develop
up here just to talk to you very briefly because, as you know, we'll start with the three leading candidates for presidency. The presidency, John McCain, has been very, very clear on what his policy is regarding the occupation of Iraq, that basically it's okay with him if we're there 100 years as long as American troops aren't being looted or killed. And John McCain is actually the most honest of the three candidates about what his policy is regarding Iraq. Hillary Clinton has a policy that's basically just a continuation of what we have today, of ongoing troops. Maybe we'll redeploy combat troops. No talk about removing the bases, no talk about removing the embassy, and certainly no talk about changing the national security strategy or the Quadrennial Defense Review Report, and of course no talk about Joint Vision 2020, which calls for full spectrum dominance of the U.S. military of the globe by 2020. And then we have Barack Obama. Again, his advisors, while slightly less hawkish than those of Hillary Clinton, are basically talking about maintaining between 50 and 70,000 American troops in Iraq, at least until the end of his first term if he comes into power. Again, no talk about withdrawal of bases, withdrawal of the embassy that's the size of the Vatican City, etc., etc. So my point is pretty obvious. We can't rely on any of these three people to get this country out of Iraq. Whoever comes comes into power in January 2009 and is sworn in is irrelevant compared to these guys and what they're trying to do. When this occupation ends, it's going to be the same way the occupation in Vietnam ended, and that's with massive, massive protests here at home, coupled with a fierce resistance abroad. In Vietnam, it was the Vietnamese resistance. Now it's going to be the Iraqi resistance, and certainly not without a fierce and growing GI resistance, which we're looking at right here today. This is the start of something historical, and they cannot do it without us reporting on it and all of you helping them. And so what's going on here today, it's up to us as independent media and just concerned citizens to get the message out. Maybe there's some of the bigger media in Seattle here today. That's great. I'm going to have a heart attack if there's any national media that's here covering this event tonight. So it's up to us to get it out, because if the average person on the street could hear just a little bit of what's been said just on this first panel so far, things would start to change, and I think change rapidly in this country regarding what needs to happen to end this occupation. So I'm up here, my final, that's basically to get you ready for, I want to ask you to support and contribute to the Regional Winter Soldier, to your local chapter here in Seattle. And all these guys here, it takes money to get these people here, money to get them traveling around, talking to people to get this message out, and to support what they're trying to do. Iraq Veterans Against the War has gained, I think it's over 400 members now, just since the March Winter Soldier event. The fastest growing segment of their population are active duty troops. And every time I give a talk about Iraq and talk about how horrible the situation is over there right now, people ask, what can I do? And I can't think of a better organization to support and a better time to get involved and throw your weight behind these people in any way you can right now. Thank you.